Okay, today we're going to show you how to change the RAM in a Panasonic Toughbook CF31. Just a quick video just to get something out there for now. We still got to do a major repair on this thing with the screen, but we're going to do the RAM. First thing, make sure everything is disconnected. Secondly, make sure the battery is removed. Here's the battery. Now we know there's no power going to this thing. Now, normally you have to take this case, this cover off of here, but this machine didn't have one when I got it. So there's two sticks of RAM in this machine. There's one right here, and all we got to do is release the two clips and it'll pop up. Just take that right out of there. Behind it, underneath, there is another piece of RAM. There's a little copper piece holding it in place, and there's two screws holding that piece in there. We want them out. I'm going to remove the two Phillips screws. Being extremely careful not to drop them in the machine. There's the two screws. This piece you gently take it out, just like so. And you do the clip the same way you did the first one. It pops up. Gently wrangle it out of there. And there it is. Now this one is a 4 gig module. The other one was an 8, but I put it in there. I had put it in there just to see if they would work. But originally it's had two 4 gig modules in it. So we got to open up the pack. Usually the hardest part of this is to open up the package. And in many laptops you're not going to get in here very easily. This one is made to be repaired. This is a military grade Panasonic Toughbook CF31. Open the package. Take out the DIMM. These things can be more trouble than actually installing the RAM. It's insane. But there we go. Look for the notch. There's the notch. The notch to the notch. Set it in place. This can sometimes be a pill. To do. Let's take a closer look at that. Move this out of the way. Okay, now I know where it goes. Again, notch to notch. Then you can kind of feel it drop in place. Once it does that, you swing it back down and it snaps into place, just like that. First one's in. The other general thing you can do is you can check all this stuff before you take and put this piece back in. But I'm reckless. As a safety precaution, you really should make sure that you've grounded yourself before doing this, or use a grounding strap on your non-dominant wrist. I've grounded myself a couple times already, so no worries. And always handle the ram as if you weren't grounded. It's kind of important too. Well, there we go. That's the first one in. Now for the next one. Same thing, the notch is going to be the same way as the other one was. Kind of wriggle it in there a little bit. It will drop in when it's happy. And there it is. The RAM is back in. We should theoretically have 16 gigs. Next thing to do is to test it. Oh, there was one more thing I wanted to tell you. When you put your stuff back in there, make sure you know what's in there. Those are 4 gig modules. So that way I don't accidentally put them in the wrong machine. That way I've got these all squared away. I don't have to worry about them no more. Alright, we have installed the RAM. Now the next thing to do is fire up the machine. We know it has a busted screen as per the last video. Look it up. And like and subscribe to the Dragon 64 Leo channel if you want to see more of this, because I got a lot of work to do on this machine and I'm going to video every bit of it. Now we turn the machine on. We put the battery back in. The RAM is put back in. So now we're going to see if it works. That's what we're finding out now. Alright, good news is the busted screen came up. That's a nice thing. Now we won't get anything on this right hand screen until it comes up in Linux. I'm pretty positive this is all going to work out just fine. But you always check. Because for all I know, one of the chips could be crooked, and then it's only going to show up with 8 gigs, or it's going to show up with nothing. And there we go, we're getting Linux Mint coming up. Do. It takes a bit, but that's okay. There we go. It's coming up. I now have a mouse pointer. And it's asking me for a password. Excuse me as I'm getting in its way. And let's see what happens. And we appear to have a desktop. It's still booting up a little bit. It's doing good. Hey, look, this little corner of the screen almost works. Now, of course, we did change configuration, so it's going to get used to the new configuration. Probably has to figure out how to boot to the new configuration. So I'm thinking probably it'll get a little faster. Reboots will get a little faster, maybe. No, maybe not. Who knows? Either way, it's all good. So we're going to clean this. We're going to clean this drive out that's in here, and we're going to put it in a drive caddy, and we're going to set up the operating system when we get this thing ready to go. We're going to set the operating system up onto this wonderful little device I've got over here somewhere. Should be right around here somewhere. There it is. This is a drive caddy. It goes in where the DVD drive would go in the machine, and you can put another hard drive in here. So I'm going to put a slimline hard drive, a solid state drive in here, and we're going to set up the operating system on that, so that when we have the big 4 terabyte drive in there, which is a platter drive, then we don't have to worry about using it as the boot drive, which would be awful because it's going to be inherently slow with the swap file. We want it a little snappier. So that's what we're going to do, but we're not doing that today. Okay, now let's see if in theory we got our RAM. So we're going to go to the Start menu. We're going to go to Administration. We're going to look for System Information, which is all in alphabetical order here. System Information. I'll bring that up. You're not going to be able to really see it because this is a crappy camera. Computer, processor. It has 16.3 gigabytes of RAM now. So the mission was a success. Now that the mission is a success, I will tell you again to like and subscribe to the Dragon 64 Leo channel, and you will get to see the surgery inside this screen pretty soon. Probably this weekend I'm going to do that. That's going to be in a couple of days. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I appreciate all the wonderful comments and compliments. I want more. Give me more. And I'm always happy to answer your questions. I am a former, well, I'm really not a former, I'm still a network systems engineer, and I'm fairly new to Linux, and I'm really new to Mint, but I've messed with Ubuntu before during the heyday of Windows 8, and Ubuntu was pretty good. And then they got their act together. Microsoft got their act together with Windows 10. Now they're getting their, now with Windows 11, they're turning their operating system back into trash. Sad but true, because when the first time I ran Windows 11, it was pretty good, and now it's a rolling commercial. What's with that nonsense? And it wants too much stuff. It mandates that you have a Microsoft account and stuff. Mine doesn't have a Microsoft account attached to it because I got it early, and I refused to do a Microsoft account with it. But you know, they're going to find a way to force it to me eventually. So I'm very unhappy with them. Anyway, have a good day.